Okay, we're going to start with doing the second lesson of our hand drawing, and this is going to be focusing on adding tone and shading and looking for the dark and the light areas in your hand to give your hand a more three-dimensional effect. So we'll be focusing on varying our tones from dark to light and blending our tones as well. So the pencils that you need a H pencil. Now a H pencil is a very light pencil, and when you're shading it creates this light tone here. However, you can create a slightly darker tone if you lean more heavily on it, and if you lean a wee bit more heavily and then take the pressure off to make it lighter, you can still get a variation in tone. So that's a H pencil. 2B pencil, you will be able to see that this will be significantly darker. Again, you can get the same variation of a really dark tone like I'm doing at the moment, then lifting the pressure up and creating a bit of a lighter 2B tone. And then if you're lucky enough to get a higher B pencil, this one's a 6B pencil and it's mega dark. You can see it really heavy. But again, if you pull the pressure up from it, you can also get a variation in tone. So what I'm wanting you to get in your hand is areas that are completely white. Then you start off with your H pencil with your tone and shading, moving on to your 2B for your darker areas, and then any final touching up with the 6B. So I'm going to start with my H here. I'm going to get my hand in the same position that it was in before, or as close to it as I possibly can. And then I'm going to look for where the dark and the light areas are. Now, the window is kind of behind me and to the left. So that's why this is all light here and this is light here. But obviously it's much darker in here and it's darker down there as well. So this end here is where the darker tone is. So I'm going to focus on just my thumb area at the moment, and I'll start showing you how to add tone and shading to that area. So I think the best thing to do is to draw lightly where there's going to be a lighter tone. And if I look here, there's going to be a lighter tone right down the side part here of my thumb. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line to see where that lighter bit is, so that I'm not going to go over that with any tone or shading at all. I'm just drawing it lightly so that it stops me from touching it. And it comes all the way down here. And it goes up to here. So the rest on this side is going to be shaded, and I've got a wee bit of shading on that side as well. So I'm going to start using the side of my pencil, and my H is obviously, remember, a lighter tone, so I'm going to start shading that in. And when I get to where the light area is, I'm going to try and let it blend out so that it blends out into that white tone that I've got down the middle of my thumb. I'm using the side of my pencil, not the point. If I use the point of my pencil, then you'll end up with scratchy lines. So that's me shading it in with the H. But now what I'm going to do with my H is I'm going to find where there's darker areas, which is right here, right at the end of my thumb here. And using my H pencil still, I'm going to start building up that darker tone. Just a wee bit. Obviously can't make it too dark because it's just a H that I've got. So bring that all the way down here. So I've got it a wee bit darker. I'm going to put my H pencil to the side and I'm going to pick up my 2B pencil. And I'm going to lean lightly to begin with to make sure that it blends with this H pencil that I've already put down. Okay. Much darker at the end here, so kind of lost my shape a wee bit there. I'll just use the point of my pencil to bring the shape of my thumb back in. Using the side of my pencil here. There we go. Bring it down this side. You can obviously use the point of your pencil where you can see the creases in your fingers and your thumbs. And what you want to do is keep putting your eyes onto your hands every few seconds. Every few seconds keep looking. You shouldn't be drawing without every few seconds looking at your thumb. And then if I look here, I can see there's a wee darker tone. In fact, I'm going to go back to my H pencil because there's a wee bit darker tone here. Just on that side. I might take my rubber to that in a wee minute as well to make it a bit, fade it in a wee bit more. And a wee bit darker there. And using my 2B again, bring it back up just to help vary that tone to be a wee bit darker just on the edge, but I'm leaving this bit here that I drew because this is where the light is shining on my thumb. Using the point of my pencil for all my little lines that I can see. And then just under the nails a wee bit darker. A half moon shape on my nail here. I pick up my H again to do my shading in my nail. Use my 2B because I can see there's wee bits of tone there. Again, I'm leaning lightly first to build it up. If I need to lean more heavily, I will. And that's my shading done in my thumb. Okay, so I want you to, or I could also, actually, before I let you get started yourself, I could use my 6B just for tweaking around these edges where it's really, really dark. So you don't use the 6B often, you just do that as a finishing touch to your drawings. Okay, finishing touch. Okay, that's my thumb done. I'll bring you a closer view. Here we go. So we've got dark to light. So the first thing we did was we drew where the lighter area was and where the sun was shining on it. Then I started with my H pencil, then I leant more heavily with my H pencil, then I went on to my 2B and tiny little touching ups for where the 6B is. So I'm going to let you get on and I'm going to continue with my drawing as well. Good luck!